option at the Fiber Center is to make a plushie. And what we'll use is very basic materials when it comes to different kinds of fabrics. We're going to use a felt. You can choose your color. Felt is very good for basic sewing to go through. So you'd have a front and a back to your plushie, and sew just the outer edges here. So there's a couple tricks to get you there. Notice that if you're going to add things like buttons or other fabric decorations, appliques, you would attach those before you put the whole plushie sewn together. So after you have decided that you're going to do a plushie, go ahead and sketch a bunch of different ideas and then come across one that you really like. So you're going to make your own template then. You'll just use a thicker piece of paper to draw your template on, so that way you can cut it out and use it as like a stencil on your fabric. So I've already cut mine out. So I've got this cloud shape. Suggestion is that you try to have one edge that is pretty flat, like a straight edge, because that will help us make this fit on top of our fabric, and then fold it and only have to sew 3 of the edges, okay? So you're going to need a piece of felt that's big enough to fold in half, so you have this crease here, where your plushie template can rest right on the edge there. So when we cut it out, you're cutting out both sides at the same time, and you're leaving this side solid so that we don't have to sew all of the edges, okay? So when you do this, you're going to hold on your pair of scissors. Make sure you pick a pair that is nice and sharp that will cut through the fabric all at the same time. And then your goal is to cut both layers. If this is tricky, there are some other things you can do, like lay it down like this instead of up in the air. Notice my scissors is pretty sharp. It's cutting through really easily. Get a different pair if it's not working for you. Also, learn to cut away larger areas of your fabric before you try to go into the smaller areas. Notice I'm making it a little bit bigger than my original template, and that's totally fine. It makes it a lot easier to sew a larger project later. Once you get that cut out, then you'll have to take out your sewing needle and thread, and we'll add any emblems or appliques that you are interested in adding before we sew the whole thing together. So now you have basically this pocket that you will be putting in your stuffing and having a plushie from there.